Hey, what's up guys? It's Chris from Blue Tongue Bayou Exotics here, and today we're going to be doing a very special, interesting video. Well, not special, but interesting at the very least. I'm going to show you guys what I currently feed one of my animals. This is not a perfect diet. I admit there are some flaws to it, but it does give this powerful lizard the ability to apparently live longer than any other animal I've owned. He's my oldest reptile as of date. Sorry, it's getting a little dark here. Let me turn my highlight on so you guys can see me better. And yeah, so before I show you this, his cage isn't really messy, but it's not organized right now because he suddenly got into a fit of burrowing. You can actually see he got all kinds of stuff in his water. So say hello to Azul, the blue-tongued skink. Say hello, folks. But anyway, yeah, so this is Azul's setup. He's in a 40-gallon breeder. You could see the other cages I have here. We're going to be doing a reptile room very soon, folks. But for now, I thought I'd just show you guys a buddy right here, if he's willing to come out. I'm trying to be careful with how I hold him, because I am kind of limited to what I can do with him with one hand. It's okay. Yeah. There we go. See, he feels better if I put him on my shoulder, but I gotta keep an eye on him because he likes to crawl. Now, don't go too far. We got things to do. So before I feed any of my reptiles, folks, I always like to make sure. I always like to put them in this little feeding case. Let me just set up the tripod real quick. Sorry about that. Just a little bit more. Oh, that's not good. Oh. Figures. That figures, folks. That figures. Sorry, I didn't realize I'm missing a part for my tripod whenever I set this up. But you can probably still see them. So what I like to do, first off, you always got to make sure you take them out. And the way I'm holding them is a good way to hold them, but Azul's not exactly the best when it comes to handling. He was a wild caught, and I've been doing my best to try and help him out a little bit with that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the thing we put him in, because as you know, folks, not all your reptiles are going to like just sitting still. Azul especially is a very fun little case about that. He hates sitting still when he's outside of his cage. He loves to explore and go around and everywhere. Hey, chill. Here, you want to go on? Well, you're getting tangled up in a wire, silly. Calm down. Here, just sit right here near the camera for a second while I get this fixed. Okay, then we hit the tar button. Make sure it's tarred out. Then we have a hiding skink. He smells his food, folks. That's the problem. He smells it. You can see that I have his food out. Go on. Now you gotta be careful, folks, because blue-tongued skink tail, just like a lot of lizards, can break off. So he is currently 435 grams. I'm not 100% sure if you guys see that, guys. That's actually a pretty good weight right now. I usually keep their weights. I keep the weight of all my reptiles written down on a weekly basis, just in case there's any sudden changes in weight and such. That way it's a good sign of if something's going wrong or if they're ready to go into their winter cycle, or in cases like my crested gecko, who is currently recently gravid. It's a good way to keep track of pregnancy. So anyway, we're going to get started making his food, and he probably can tell with this dish right here. He knows what's usually in it. He's like, where's the food at, buddy? So right here I got all the food I normally give my blue-tongued skink. I guess we should start with the most prominent thing in the fact that what does a blue-tongued skink eat? I'm sorry, folks. Normally a blue-tongued skink is an omnivore. They eat plants and meat. Now when it comes to a blue-tongued skink's diet, normally the best ratio is 60% plant, 40% meat, and then I think 10%, 60%, I'm sorry folks, I'm trying to remember the exact ratio I've been told. I remember it's 60% plant, I want to say 30 to 40% meat, and 10%, at the very most, 10% fruit, for the fact of the matter that fruit's not exactly something they would normally eat. Now, if we just... Are you kidding me? We're out of spoons. We're out of clean spoons. That's not good, folks. Broken fork. I was trying to see if I had any plastic forks I could use, but it looks like all we have is plastic knives. Let that be a lesson, folks. Always make sure your stuff's clean beforehand. I guess we could just use an oyster fork to do that. No. You know what? Hold on, folks. Let me see. I feel like I should have a fork or something, because a fork will work too. Here. Perfect. Metal fork. Alright, so what we're going to do first off is, this is actually an interesting option. Dog food. You can use dog food, usually a very high-end brand like, off the top of my head, Blue Mountain Wilderness. They're usually really good stuff, as long as it's not grain-based, because grain-based dog food is not really the best thing to be feeding your animal. Now, I say that, and I should look at this. I'm pretty sure Little Caesars isn't exactly the best thing to get them, but I never got a chance to go to the store yet this week to get Blue Mountain Wilderness to try and give to him, because he's been eating Little Caesars Classic since he first came here. And you can actually see that he's like, I kind of want that food, sir. Can I have that? So normally what I do is normally I'll give him about a tablespoon and a half of this, not much. Just enough to kind of get his appetite going. And if I feel like I put too much, I can always just put a piece or two back, because this stuff can be refrigerated for a short amount of time. The next thing I do is I take some tortoise and omnivore lizard food. Now this you could buy from PetSmart or from your local pet store. If you can't find it there, you can go look it up online. That's what I usually do. It's only like, I want to say it's like $3.99 a can at the very most. And it's very useful. It's got a little bit of fruit in it, so it does give him a little bit of a reason to get it. And it also gives him some variety, because sometimes I'll feed him this, sometimes I'll feed him actual veggies, sometimes he'll try to break out of his little thing, because he knows, he's like, I want that, dang it, I can smell it. It's in there. Just chill. Just wait 2 minutes. Still got some stuff to do. Next is the veggies. I usually use mustard, even though he's not exactly a fan of veggies. Kind of a problem with him. Just chop it up real quick with some kitchen shears. You could just use a knife too, but I didn't want to dirty our cutting board just for such a simple amount of food. Normally we'll go down is I'll chop this up. He'll pick out the dog food and the omnivore lizard food, and he'll just leave this in his thing. But he will end up eating some of it, which is an important thing. He needs to at least get some of his veggies to have some kind of fiber. So you can see we got this all like this. We just give it a quick mix up. Just try to mix it in. So I admit this is probably better on a plate or in a bowl with a spoon, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Just pick this up. It doesn't really matter that badly if we touch it. Break up any bigger pieces we see. Make sure they're not too big to where he's just gonna ignore them. And a personal favorite I kind of wish I had for him. This is a little fun fact, folks. When it comes to blue-tongue skinks, a personal favorite for them to eat is snails. Now, you could use either wild-caught snails that have been put through a process to make sure they're not filled with pesticides. I'm sure there are places that sell farm-bred snails. I guess would be the term I'm looking for. Kind of like how you would buy crickets from Petco or PetSmart, or if you would buy dubia roaches and such from a local pet store. And then there's the easiest option, which is the ZootMed brand cricket. I mean, not crickets. Snails. I'm sorry, folks. I feel like I have like a burp trapped in my chest because I just ate my own dinner. Now, if snails are unavailable to you, because I know off the top of my head, none of the pet stores around here sell can of snails. I have to actually go buy it online occasionally. I personally like using red night crawlers as a substitute. Now, when it comes to red night crawlers, you gotta make sure you don't buy it like bait. You don't buy from a bait shop. That's what I was trying to think of saying. I don't know why I couldn't think of it. You gotta make sure you don't buy from a bait shop, because usually bait shops have their night crawlers infused with preservatives that are not exactly I cannot talk today, folks, I swear. Preservatives and chemicals that help keep them longer, but are generally worse for the animal to eat. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this little guy right here. I'm sorry, by the way, about all these dirty dishes, but ignore those. I'm going to take this little guy right here. We're going to just give him a little quick wash off, get some of that dirt off. Because I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure the dirt would cause impaction, just like it would if you're off the top of my head, if your bearded dragon ate sand, or if your leopard gecko ate a piece of gravel. So this is the difficult part. Because they're such long animals, and they're so and they can extend like this, it's best to cut them into a certain size, so they aren't that much of a hassle for your animal. And I just leave these right on top. Usually they'll either wiggle their way into the food so he can hunt for them, or they'll usually just do whatever. Now there is one more option, folks, that I actually wanted to test out today. Like, this is the first time I've ever tested this out as a food option. It's a little treat I want to give them, but first I have to go get it. So let's go get it. Now, this treat option, I've been told, is an option you can give them. It's not exactly the I'm sorry. I'm trying to decide if this is the best option to set. Like, I'm trying to remember if this is a good option for them to have or a worse option. Let me just see something. I'm sorry, folks. I just realized I had to check on something real quick. I'm writing down their the weights and stuff for Azul. I usually keep it on my computer or on my iPad for scale. And while I'm at it, I'll double check to make sure this is the right type of animal I'm thinking of. Okay, so it is. I was just making sure, because I remember the Madagascar hissing cockroaches were an option, but this is not what I thought they were. But this is also a good option too. I'm talking about dubia roaches, or what the hell? Well, they're tropical spotted roaches, but the scientific name is what is it? Something dubia. So I kind of want to try out one of these. I have one or two left from my crested geckos, little snack time escapades. Now, unlike normal roaches that you usually see in your house, they can climb up a wall, they can fly. These little guys are flightless. Let's see if I can get one to come out. And they are they can't really climb. Now, of course, this doesn't mean, see, he can kind of get out like he just did. Come on, get in there. Okay, I guess we gotta go with plan B. Now the problem is these are burrowing roaches, so if he doesn't eat them, then they would burrow out of his cage. Come on. Come on, get on here. Get on. Come on. Hey! Oh, right, I'm stupid. They can climb up certain surfaces. They can't climb up basic glass. They can't climb up plastic. Get back here! Hey, you, get back here. Here, sit down and eat this. Azul. Look, food. Yes, food. Folks, I'm gonna go put him in his cage real quick. After I grab this guy, because I know for a fact, you see, this is a problem with blue tones. Now you. Ew. I'm not a fan of roaches myself, folks. Trust me when I say that. But, okay, so we're going to go with plan B, which is to grab him, the camera and his food. Come on. You gotta make sure you support the back legs, folks, whenever you're handling a blue-tongued skink, because they get really nervous if they feel like their lower half is not supported. Oh, thank God, I left the cage flap open. Alright, so let's just put him back in his thing. He's gonna go hide in his thing, even though he knows it's food time. I'm gonna put his food over there. And for this dubia roach, I just thought of what I could do. I'll just do what I do with my my cresties, which are hanging out right here. Actually, that's the mama right there, as you can see her. Sorry about that, folks. This video is going a lot longer than I thought it would, but first time doing this, so first time doing this kind of video. So I know I have two left in here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try and grab these little guys. Come on. And I know for a fact they can't climb. I really don't want to touch these things. I do not like touching roaches, folks. There. I do not like touching roaches. I don't know why either, because I'm not physically scared of roaches. No, he's alive. Yeah, he's alive. Come on, get off. Get off. Get off. There. Just leave them in there. And they have some leftover vitamin dust that they're kind of rolling around in, so that will probably work. But yeah, I don't know why. I'm not a fan of touching a roach. I think it's because they have spine. Because the kind of roaches you normally see are the German and American varieties, which have the very spiny legs, which are not something I like to mess with. Here, check that out. While you check that out, I will change your water. So folks, with that comes the end of our video. It looks like he's actually checking them out. He's like, what the hell are these things? Can I eat these? Yep, he looks like he's trying to go for him. Oh, he got one. Good job, buddy. Now, a couple quick tips, real quick, about blue-tongued skinks when it comes to feeding. One, they are gluttons. They will eat a lot if you don't portion it out correctly, so you gotta be careful with that, because obesity can run in a skink. Thing number two is to watch out if you want to try hand feeding, because a blue-tongued skink does not have super big teeth, but the jaws are pretty strong. Sorry, folks, I'm holding this weird so I could have both hands free for a second there. Again, I gotta buy I kind of have to buy a different type of harness or something for this. But you live and you learn through doing, I guess. Have to clean that out. Anyway, yeah, they have pretty strong jaw muscles, so if they bite, it's going to take a hell of a lot to get them off, and you will probably bleed from it. I remember one time Azul has bitten me because he thought my pinky was a pinky mouse that I used to give him as treats when he was younger. And that's about all I have to say when it comes to tips. Your blue-tongued skink might be a shy eater. I know Azul likes to eat. Like, if I take him out of his cage and set him down next to the food, he will immediately go straight to it, and he'll run off and hide behind something as soon as he's done eating. If that's the case, just let him in his cage for a little while to eat. Make sure you change the cage out every day. And feeding times, usually I feed Azul every other day. That's what I was told whenever I first got him was the best feeding time for an adult, is to feed him every other day. Juveniles, it's best to feed them daily. Obviously not as much as I just put for Azul, but like a smaller amount, probably about at the most 2 teaspoons of a teaspoon of each, just to start out to see. And yeah, so there's not really much else to say about that, folks, other than I hope you all did enjoy this quick video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have any other important blue-tongued skink related questions, just give me a quick ask on the comment section, and I will get back to it as soon as I can and tell you guys what I think is the right answer. Now, I'm not an expert, but I do know enough to keep this little guy alive for about 8 to 9 years. It's been about 9 years now, I think. Actually, I think it's almost been 10 years, so Jesus. So yeah, we're kind of going over in time. I hope you all did enjoy. I'm Spookalai, and I'm talking about from my gaming channel. I'm sorry, folks. I'm Chris from Blue Tongue Bayou Exotics, and I will see you all next time. Bye, guys.